All right, get ready, because we're taking a deep dive into the world of Al Pacino today.
Oh, yeah.
Specifically, his journey to becoming Michael Corleone.
Mm-hmm.
That iconic role from The Godfather.
Yeah.
The one you'll be discussing at your meeting.
Exactly, the one you'll be discussing at your meeting.
Yeah.
We're going straight to the source,
Right.
using Pacino's own words from his autobiography, The Godfather Notebook.
Fascinating stuff.
And get this.
What's that?
Paramount Pictures actually fought
Really?
to keep him out of the film.
Oh, wow.
Talk about an underdog story.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's pretty incredible when you think about how much we associate him with that role now.
Right.
But right, this wasn't some overnight success story.
No.
Pacino was already making waves in the theater world.
Yeah.
Racking up Tony and Obie awards.
Wow.
Honing his craft at the prestigious Actors Studio.
Mm-hmm.
Yet Hollywood held little appeal for him initially. He actually compares the two in his book, saying that stage acting is like a high-wire act without a net, while film has that safety net of multiple takes.
I see.
He was drawn to that raw energy of live performance.
Yeah.
So what ultimately shifted his perspective?
Well, his first film role in Me, Natalie was, in his words, a disaster.
Oh, wow.
He hated the stop-and-start nature of film, the technical aspects, the long waits. It just didn't click for him.
Interesting.
It seemed like film acting might not be in the cards.
Right, yeah.
But then enters Marion Doherty, this legendary casting director with an eye for talent.
Oh, wow.
She saw something in him that others missed.
Yeah.
And cast him in The Panic in Needle Park.
Okay.
Where he
played a heroin addict.
Yeah, he played a heroin addict.
Talk about a 180 from his stage roles.
That film was a game changer.
Right.
His performance was raw, powerful, and it caught the eye of a young Francis Ford Coppola, who, as you'll see, had a knack for spotting future legends.
Yeah.
But their first encounter was anything but ordinary.
Okay, so this is where it gets juicy.
All right, lay it on me.
Instead of a typical audition, Coppola invited Pacino to San Francisco for a 5-day meeting.
A 5-day meeting.
5 days.
Wow.
They hung out at Coppola's production company.
Yeah.
American Zoetrope.
Okay.
Talking film, art, the whole shebang.
Wow, what an experience.
Right.
Must have been great to be a fly on the wall for that.
Oh, absolutely.
So were they talking about The Godfather then?
And the kicker is they were surrounded by other up-and-coming filmmakers.
Oh, wow.
Guys like George Lucas, Steven Spielberg.
Wow.
Even Martin Scorsese was in the mix.
Really?
It was like a breeding ground.
That's incredible.
For the next generation of cinematic titans.
I mean, just imagine.
Imagine the conversations.
The conversations they must have had.
I know.
What an atmosphere.
What an incredible atmosphere to be immersed in.
It must have been amazing.
Right.
But that wasn't even for The Godfather.
But here's the thing.
Sure.
That meeting wasn't even about The Godfather.
Oh, really?
Coppola initially wanted Pacino for a love story.
Okay.
Which, funnily enough, never even got made.
So it seems like fate had other plans.
It seems like fate had other plans.
Okay.
Because out of the blue, Coppola rings him up with an offer that, as we know, he couldn't refuse.
The role of Michael Corleone?
The role of Michael Corleone.
Of course.
But Pacino's reaction wasn't what you'd expect.
Really?
He was completely shocked.
Oh, wow.
Thought Coppola had lost it.
I can imagine.
He even wondered if he was the one having a nervous breakdown.
It does seem almost impossible now.
I know, right?
Pacino was hardly a household name at that point.
No.
And here's Coppola offering him a role that practically screams leading man in a film based on a best-selling novel.
Right.
Paramount, of course, wanted a big star, someone bankable.
Of course.
This is where Pacino's relative lack of film experience actually worked against him.
Right.
They saw him as this unknown quantity, not the Michael Corleone they envisioned.
Right.
And let's be real.
Yeah.
Studios back then had a lot of power. They were used to getting their way.
Yeah, they pretty much called all the shots.
So for Coppola to stand his ground and insist on Pacino, it really shows the conviction he had.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's fascinating because in that moment, Coppola wasn't just choosing an actor. He was in a way,
Yeah.
shaping the future of American cinema.
Interesting, yeah.
This was the dawn of what we now call New Hollywood, and he was championing a new breed of talent, raw and unconventional.
Oh, that's very interesting.
Okay, so Coppola is on board.
Yeah.
But the fight's not over yet.
Right.
Pacino talks about this instance where he flat out refused to do a cold reading for a play in front of the Panic in Needle Park producers.
Really?
He knew it wouldn't be good for him or the play.
Right.
And he wasn't willing to compromise his process even for a shot at a bigger role.
Which is ironic, isn't it?
It is, isn't it?
Because guess what ended up convincing Paramount?
What's that?
To take a chance on him for The Godfather.
Oh, come on.
Footage from Panic in Needle Park.
Oh, wow.
It seems like that earlier performance, fueled by his conviction, commitment to his craft, ultimately opened the door to this life-changing role.
But even with the role secured, things were far from smooth sailing.
Yeah, well, we'll dive into those trials and tribulations next time.
Looking forward to it. And we're back, picking up where we left off. With Al Pacino officially cast as Michael Corleone, but facing a whole new set of hurdles on the set of The Godfather.
It seems the drama wasn't just reserved for the script.
Yeah, you could say that again.
Pacino describes the atmosphere as incredibly tense.
I bet.
With rumors of his impending dismissal.
Oh, wow.
Swirling around constantly.
Yeah.
Imagine the pressure.
Yeah.
A young actor, relatively new to film, working alongside legends like Marlon Brando.
Yeah.
And constantly feeling like he's one bad take away from being replaced.
Yeah. And this wasn't just paranoia on his part.
Yeah.
The studio heads were genuinely unconvinced. Remember, they were looking for a traditional leading man, someone with that classic Hollywood charisma.
Yeah.
But Pacino was bringing something different to the table.
Right.
He was playing Michael with this quiet intensity and almost introverted quality that went against their expectations.
There's this almost comical anecdote in the book where Pacino and Diane Keaton, who played Kay Adams, go out drinking.
After a particularly rough day of filming.
After a particularly rough day of filming? Yeah.
Oh, man.
Convinced they're making the worst picture ever.
Wow.
They actually thought their careers were over.
And then it gets even worse.
Oh, no.
Coppola himself, the man who fought so hard to get Pacino the role, had to sit him down and deliver a blunt message.
Oh, geez.
You're not cutting it.
Can you imagine how soul-crushing
I know
that must have been?
How awful.
For Pacino.
It's a testament to both their determination that they didn't let that break them.
Right.
It seems like.
Yep.
The pressure cooker environment actually fueled their creativity.
And then there's this pivotal moment
that
shifts everything.
Yeah. What's that?
The restaurant scene.
Ah, yes. The scene where Michael eliminates Sollozzo and McCluskey.
Right, exactly.
It's a turning point for the character.
Yeah.
Marking his descent into the family business and solidifying his transformation from war hero to ruthless mobster.
This scene was crucial.
Yeah.
For Pacino on multiple levels.
Yeah. In what way?
First, it was a grueling 15-hour shoot.
Oh, wow.
And he talks about how supportive Ella Thierry, who played Sollozzo, and Sterling Hayden, who played McCluskey, were during filming.
Oh, that's nice.
They were like mentors to him on set.
Which is interesting because if you watch that scene closely, you can see Pacino absorbing their energy, their approach to the craft. It's like he's taking mental notes, learning from the masters in real time.
Yeah, and then there's the famous story of Pacino injuring his ankle.
Oh, yeah.
During the escape sequence.
I remember that,
You'd think he'd be devastated.
Right.
But his first reaction was relief.
Really?
He actually thought the injury would get him out of the film.
Talk about intense pressure.
I know, it's crazy, right?
It just goes to show how much self-doubt he was wrestling with.
Right.
But ironically, that very scene filmed through the pain and uncertainty is what finally convinced Paramount. was the right man for the job.
It's like his commitment shone through despite the injury. And they finally saw the depth and intensity he was bringing to Michael.
They witnessed that transformation firsthand.
Right.
Not just in the character, but in Pacino himself.
Speaking of transformations.
Okay.
Working with Marlon Brando.
Yeah, that had to be
a transformative experience in itself.
A transformative experience.
Otherwise.
Two titans of acting.
Right.
Sharing the screen.
I know.
It's the stuff of cinematic legend.
I know.
Pacino was understandably intimidated.
He was pretty intimidated.
He describes this awkward lunch.
Oh, yeah.
With Brando.
Yeah.
Where Brando's just casually devouring chicken cacciatore with his hands.
With his hands?
Getting sauce everywhere. It was a far cry from the formality of a typical Hollywood lunch.
It's a wonderful image, isn't it?
It is, isn't it?
Brando. Completely unfazed by convention. Just being himself.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes him such a fascinating figure. That raw authenticity.
Right.
The refusal to conform.
But despite the initial awkwardness, Brando saw something in Pacino. Something special. And in a moment of genuine encouragement, he reassured him.
What'd he say?
Yeah, kid, you're going to be all right.
Wow. Coming from Brando.
Yeah.
Those words must have been like a blessing.
Well, receiving the official stamp of approval from the Godfather himself.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that even the greatest actors have mentors.
Right.
Those figures they look up to.
Right.
And learn from.
And it wasn't just Brando.
Right.
Pacino talks about feeling supported by the entire cast.
Right.
Especially John Cazale and James Korean.
Right.
They became like older brothers to him.
Both on and off the set.
Both on and off the set,
It's a heartwarming aspect.
It is, isn't it?
Of this story.
Yeah.
Even amidst the pressure and chaos of a major film production. Right. There's this genuine camaraderie.
Right.
This sense of community. That helped Pacino navigate those uncharted waters.
Right. And speaking of uncharted waters, let's talk about the experience that Pacino describes as particularly profound.
Okay.
Filming in Sicily. This was his first time visiting his ancestral homeland.
Yeah.
And it seems to have unlocked something.
What's that?
Deep within him.
He talks about feeling an immediate connection.
Yeah.
A sense of belonging.
Right.
That surprised even him.
Yeah.
He even encourages everyone to visit their ancestral lands, saying it's a way to check in with reality, to remember where you come from.
It's like he was tapping into a lineage, a history that had always been there, but was somehow brought to life by setting foot on that soil.
And it's not just about sentimentality.
Yeah.
Pacino specifically contrasts the warmth and generosity of the Sicilian people with the behavior of a Roman assistant director who was mistreating the extras on set.
Oh, really?
He describes this one incident where a Sicilian extra walks off the set after being yelled at.
Wow.
Even though it meant he wouldn't get paid.
Wow.
Pacino saw it as an act of quiet heroism.
Wow, that's amazing.
A refusal to be treated with disrespect.
It's a small moment.
Yeah.
But it speaks volumes.
Yeah.
About Pacino's values.
Yeah.
His sensitivity to injustice and his deep respect for the people and the culture of Sicily.
It makes you wonder if that experience, that connection to his roots, informed his portrayal of Michael in subtle ways.
Absolutely.
It adds another layer to his performance. A sense of authenticity that goes beyond just mimicking mannerisms or accents. He was embodying a cultural heritage, a legacy that ran deep within him.
It's fascinating how all these seemingly disparate experiences. The theater training, the disastrous first film role, the camaraderie with the cast, the connection to Sicily come together to shape his approach to Michael Corleone.
It's like a puzzle. Each piece contributing to the final picture. But even with all the pieces in place, life after The Godfather wasn't exactly a smooth ride for Pacino.
He found himself. in a rather precarious financial situation.
Oh, wow.
We'll explore that.
Okay.
Unexpected turn of events.
All right.
And the lasting impact
Yeah.
of The Godfather after a quick break.
Sounds good.
Stay with us. And we're back, ready to wrap up our deep dive into Al Pacino's journey to becoming Michael Corleone.
Picking up with those financial struggles you mentioned.
Right, because believe it or not, success didn't exactly lead to financial stability right away.
You're kidding.
Pacino actually found himself broke.
Broke?
Owing money to agents and lawyers.
After The Godfather.
After The Godfather wrapped, yeah.
I can't believe that.
Yeah, it turns out
he
was caught in this legal battle with MGM over another gangster film.
Oh, really?
The gang that couldn't shoot straight.
Okay.
They were suing him.
For what?
For breach of contract.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So how did he get out of that?
He actually ended up striking a deal with the head of MGM.
Okay.
At the Pulitzer Fountain in New York City.
The Pulitzer Fountain?
Imagine that scene.
Wow, what a visual.
It's a far cry from the shadowy world of the Corleones.
Yeah, it is.
But it just goes to show that even Hollywood power players sometimes conduct business in the most unexpected places.
So what was the deal?
He basically promised to send them any interesting scripts he came across.
In exchange for dropping the lawsuit.
In exchange for dropping the lawsuit, exactly.
It's a testament to his resourcefulness, his ability to think outside the box and find solutions, even when things look bleak.
And maybe this financial struggle contributed to a decision that, at first glance, seems baffling.
What's that?
He avoided watching the finished Godfather film for years.
He didn't watch it.
He didn't watch it.
For years.
Yeah. He talks about feeling uncomfortable with the attention.
Right.
It brought the scrutiny on his performance. He even skipped out on the premiere.
Wow, really?
To go drinking with the crew.
It's fascinating, isn't it?
It is.
Here's this film that's about to become a cultural phenomenon, and the star is nowhere to be found.
I know.
At the premiere.
He just wasn't ready to face the magnitude of what they'd created. That sudden surge of fame and recognition.
It speaks to a certain humility, don't you think?
Yeah.
A reluctance to buy into the hype. A desire to stay grounded amidst the whirlwind of success.
And it makes the moment he finally watches the restored print for the film's 50th anniversary. All the more powerful.
He talks about being blown away by what he saw.
Yeah.
He was finally able to appreciate the film's artistry, the layers of meaning, the subtle nuances he hadn't noticed before.
It's as if he'd shed the baggage of his own performance and could finally see the film through fresh eyes.
And in doing so, maybe he also saw himself differently. No longer just the young actor wrestling with self-doubt. But a seasoned artist who had contributed to something truly timeless.
But of course, by then, The Godfather had irrevocably changed his life.
He couldn't escape the shadow of Michael Corleone.
He tells this poignant story about a woman calling him Michael.
On the street.
On the street.
That he'd become synonymous with that role.
Even decades later.
Decades later.
It makes you think about the complexities of fame, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The allure of recognition versus the loss of anonymity.
The desire to be seen for your work while also maintaining a sense of privacy. A life outside the public eye.
It's a delicate balance.
It is.
And it's clear that Pacino has grappled with it.
Throughout his career.
But
I think his story ultimately offers a message of a hope, of resilience.
Absolutely. His journey from those early days in theater to his breakout in The Panic in Needle Park to the roller coaster of The Godfather. And beyond. It shows that success is rarely a straight line.
Yeah, it's rarely a straight line.
It's a winding path, full of challenges and unexpected turns.
And as you head into your meeting, remember that even The most iconic figures, the ones we hold up as legends, they all faced their share of struggles.
Absolutely.
They doubted themselves.
They stumbled.
They had
to fight for their place.
They had to fight for their place.
In the world.
Pacino's story is a reminder that talent alone isn't enough.
It takes dedication, perseverance.
And
willingness. To stay true to your vision. Even when faced with rejection or uncertainty.
And it's a testament to the power of storytelling. How a single performance can capture our imaginations and resonate across generations.
And if you're looking to delve even deeper into Pacino's insights and reflections,
I highly recommend checking out the full autobiography.
The Godfather Notebook. It's a treasure trove of anecdotes, observations, and wisdom.
From one of the most compelling actors of our time.
Thanks for joining us.
It's been a pleasure.
On this deep dive into the world of Al Pacino.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We'll catch you next time for another.
Looking forward to it.